What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 9, and we start today's episode off here with a game against West Ham United in the Capital One Cup, round of 16 stage. Now, obviously, as I said in the past couple episodes, I'm not really too fussed about the Capital One Cup, but we've reached around the 16 stage now, so I did put some first team players out there. A good cup run in the first season could be quite nice for Watford, and you never know. Silverware in the first season, unlikely, yes, but certainly not impossible. But regardless, the first chance of this game would fall in the 12th minute as Antonio goes down the right hand side for West Ham. Couldn't keep up with him and he crosses the ball into the centre. Michael Keane's header almost goes into the back of his own goal, but thankfully it's the post and we get the ball away for a corner. So still 0-0, but West Ham hitting the woodwork early on. And in the 15th minute, another good chance for the Hammers here. Andy Carroll flicks on his free kick towards Lanzini, who goes through one-on-one. He also hits the post and it's still goalless. So twice the post had been struck in the opening 15 minutes, but it was still 0-0. And in the 33rd minute, another good chance for West Ham. Lanzini's shot is blocked, but eventually it comes towards Antonio here. Plays it inside towards Lanzini, and again West Ham go close, but his shot goes just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So a very bright start for the away side. But in the 41st minute, another good chance, this time for Watford. Our first of the game, Etienne Capoue finds a Garlo who goes for goal, but Darren Randolph turns behind for a corner with a pretty smart save. So 0-0 was the score at half time. Pretty balanced first half, but West Ham had hit the woodwork twice, so we're playing a little bit better. But in the second half here, 8 minutes after the restart, we had a good chance for our first goal of the game. Holebas, our left back, gets onto the ball rolls around his man and plays it through towards Burkhouse down the left hand side. He scored 2 goals in the last game against Stoke City, including one from 45 yards, and after he cuts past James Collins here, he goes for goal. He's denied by Darren Randolph, but it falls to Holebas, and our left back turns it in and makes it Watford 1, West Ham 0 for his first goal of the season. So Holebas, despite being one of our higher rated players in the side, isn't usually a first choice left back. Nathan Ake is, but I started him in this game and he does get his first goal of the season. Not sure what he was doing up there in the area, but either way I don't really mind. He gets the goal and opens the scoring. So Watford 1, West Ham 0, and in the second half we were defending much better than in the first half. West Ham looked really good in the first half, very threatening. We were playing much better at the back, looking a lot more solid, but in the 79th minute here, West Ham would get themselves back on level terms, and I don't know what to say about this, man. Like, seriously. Now, I rate Gomez, I really do. Last season in the Championship he played really well. I thought he got way too much stick at Spurs. Watford fans, believe me, I do like Gomez as a goalkeeper. I've been told I look like him when I shave my head as well, so I'm not sure whether that's a compliment or not, but either way, I like Gomez, I really do. But the one thing with Gomez when he was at Spurs is that it was guaranteed to make a mistake every now and then, and sadly that's exactly what happens here in Watford for the game. I mean, what even is this from Gomez? I call it bad goalkeeping, but it's not even goalkeeping in any form. It's spectating, if anything. You know, bad goalkeeping, but definitely good spectating from Gomez. Carroll flicks the header on, and he just... I mean, what's he doing? Why is he just watching the ball go over his head? And I'll reiterate, I do like Gomez. I think he got too much stick at Spurs. I do like him as a goalkeeper, very good shot stopper, but sometimes he makes mistakes like that. You know, in real life he did that for Spurs a lot. For Watford he was a lot more consistent in the Championship, but in the game, seriously, like, what on earth is he doing there? I don't know. And again, you see him just watch the ball go over his head there. Andy Carroll's header goes across the goal line, and thankfully the follow-up header goes over the bar. And fortunately, it was still 1-1. So Gomez looking very shaky, and because of that, West Ham grew some confidence. A great chance here in stoppage time to win the game and send themselves through to the quarter-finals. James Tompkins finds Andy Carroll, and thankfully for us, the shot goes just over the bar and behind for a goal kick. West Ham, who in the second half were looking very, very poor until their goal, finally found some confidence and almost won the game later on, but it was still 1-1. But from the goal kick, we pass out from the back. Lewis Cook finds Michael Keane here, who volleys it through towards Sam Byram. Byram finds Berghaus down the right-hand side, and it's a brilliant chance for us to win the game and send ourselves through in stoppage time. He crosses the ball to the centre. Randolph punches the ball away, only as far as Holebas, who strikes on the first time volley, but he can't get his second goal of the game, and it goes harmlessly over the bar and behind for a goal kick. It was how the game would finish at Vicarage Road. Watford 1, West Ham 1. So pretty disappointed to draw that game after 90 minutes, because I felt we were playing really well in the second half and should have tightened up a little bit to see ourselves through, but instead we would go into extra time in this game, and the first chance of extra time would fall in the 103rd minute as Aaron Creswell finds Victor Moses down the left hand side here. Moses crosses the ball into the centre. James Tompkins wins the header, but puts it wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. The first chance coming to West Ham, who were relentless in their pressure after their first goal of the game. But it was still 1-1. But in the second half of extra time here, just a couple minutes after the restart, Obi Olari takes it round James Collins, goes through one-on-one with Darren Randolph, and the big Belgian striker gets his first goal in a Watford shirt and makes it Watford 2, West Ham United 1. So I brought him off the bench. I thought he could possibly do the job. West Ham were getting tired at the back. We're into extra time now, tired legs at the back. Thought Olari would be a good choice up there for a physical presence. He came on for Igalo, who hasn't made a good start in the game like he has in real life, and he does make it Watford 2, West Ham 1, and get us back in front in this game. So a nice little fake shot. They can't catch up with a big striker. Tries to ball roll round Darren Randolph. Didn't do the best of jobs, but still got the ball into the bottom corner. That's the most important thing. And Obi Olari makes it 2-1 to Watford. So we go in front for the second time in the game. In the 112th minute, as West Ham push bodies forward, they gave the ball away for a throw-in. Who latches onto the loose ball? It's Olari again. One-on-one with Darren Randolph. There's the confidence. Chips the goalkeeper and puts it into the back of the net to make it Watford 3, West Ham 1. And the super sub ensures that we're going through to the quarterfinals of the Capital One Cup. So delighted with that. To be honest, goals this season, other than Deeney and Loftus-Cheek and Berghaus, we haven't seen anyone score more than one goal. It's been pretty frustrating for us knowing that not too many players have scored, and Traore as well, not too many players have scored this season for us, but Olari off the bench, haven't given him too much game time. One of the big reasons, I have read some comments from people saying he's got good potential, one of the reasons is because he's only got 40 stamina, so he gets tired really easy. I can only bring him off the bench for a few minutes come the end of the game. That's exactly what I did for this game though, and it turned out to be a great substitution. So Olari comes off the bench, new super sub, possibly, you never know, but he sends us through to the Capital One Cup quarterfinals anyway. That's the most important thing, and I'm delighted with that. It was a really action-packed game though, it really was. Both defences were quite inconsistent, some stages they did quite well in the game, some stages they looked pretty vulnerable. Both goalkeepers as well, at times looked pretty poor, but the most important thing was we got the win. We're through to the quarterfinals of the Capital One Cup, and again, I'm not really too fussed about the competition. My most important focus is the league, but a good cup run could be good into the quarterfinals, and it's good to see us advance in the competition. Still, we take on West Ham for the second game of today's episode here, the second and final one of today's episode. So taking on West Ham for the second game in this episode, and the second time in this episode. Of course, this one in the league, not in the Capital One Cup. West Ham would make some changes, we'd make some changes, obviously trying to freshen the teams up. And the first chance of this game would fall in the 34th minute as our right back finds Bertrand Traore. Traore takes it around Hendry down the right hand side here, plays it back inside towards our right back. Great chance here as he drills it across towards Troy Deeney, and if it wasn't for a fantastic block by James Tompkins, we would have opened the scoring. So really good block there, and it's still 0-0. But from the corner, it's crossed into the centre. It's not fully dealt with by West Ham, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek scores one of the best goals of the season, and probably a contender for goal of the season already. What a goal this is by Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's his fourth goal in the Premier League so far, his second in 2 games. How about this for a goal by Loftus-Cheek? It goes up in the air, Tompkins heads it away, Loftus-Cheek flicks it over his head, and then a first time volley goes past Darren Randolph, in off the far post and into the back of the net. Now, I threw this guy into my first team. I said I think he's got what it takes to be a star, and I'm getting proved right already. Unbelievable strike by Loftus-Cheek. What a goal that is. Contender for goal of the season already. Who knows, maybe a contender for goal of the series already. What a strike by Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What a volley. Absolutely sensational, and possibly goal of the season already. Absolutely fantastic goal there. And also as well, I showed the sliders. If this is the first series of mine you've watched, I should have said this right at the start of the series. I play on legendary difficulty and I don't touch any of the sliders. Sometimes I'll score a really nice goal and just prove that by going into the settings. But anyway, fantastic goal by Loftus-Cheek. Watford 1, West Ham 0, and Slaven Bilic must already be hating Vicarage Road, seriously. Still, what a fantastic goal, and we are 1-0 up going into the break. And in the second half here, 20 minutes after the restart, a good chance for West Ham. Payet finds Koyate, he plays it back inside towards Song, offloads towards Dimitri Payet, but the shot goes wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. And in the 68th minute, West Ham had another good chance to equalise here. Koyate and Andy Carroll link up here. The number 8 strike is well saved by Jack Butland, desperate for his first clean sheet in a few games, and eventually after Payet's cross, Nathan Ake heads it behind for a corner. So still Watford 1, West Ham 0, as we were going search of another win in the Premier League. But in the 73rd minute, we had a great chance to seal the game here. Troy Deeney receives the ball and gives it to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and midfielder spreads the play all the way out wide towards our right back Nyom, who gets a little bit lucky as he takes it around Antonio. Well, a little bit lucky for the touch regardless, but very lucky for the goal, because Nyom scores his first goal of the season and he's going to claim it, and that's fair enough from the right back. But I sprinted to the camera. When I first scored this, I dropped the controller and thought, oh my goodness, I have just scored 2 fantastic, sensational goals in one game. But it turns out the reason this goal went in is because it takes an absolutely massive deflection off the West Ham defender, and that's what wrong foots Darren Randolph and sees the ball creep into his near post. It takes a huge deflection. How lucky is that? I mean, the first goal we scored through Loftus-Cheek was pure skill. This is pure luck. I did not mean the ball to go into that side of the goal. I did not mean the ball to go that close to the post. It was all about the luck for that goal. Nyom's going to claim it. It's his first goal of the season. That's fine and everything because the shot was on target. But either way, that was hugely fortunate, and that was very harsh on West Ham there. So we got ourselves the second goal of the game. We did seal the 3 points. Nyom's first goal of the game, Loftus-Cheek's fourth, does mean we get the 3 points. Delighted with that. Loftus-Cheek's goal, one of the goals of the season, but Nyom's goal, very, very fortunate indeed. But the most important thing was the 3 points. We get it. Another win notched up, and I'm absolutely delighted with that. But that does end the episode, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, that is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.